So we were expecting bloodshed, or at least thought it was a strong possibility. And then I remember on the night of June 3rd, there had been particularly ominous rumblings that day that things were afoot. And at about 10 p.m., suddenly a bunch of people started calling that the troops are moving in and they're opening fire. And so there were a bunch of roadblocks on the roads set up by the protesters, so tanks could not, so the soldiers could not just come in. And so I couldn't drive there, so I took my bicycle and bicycled like mad to Tiananmen Square and parked my bike there, kind of under the Mao portrait, under the Chairman Mao portrait. And it was just about when the soldiers were arriving from the other direction. And they opened fire on the crowd that I was in. And so I was pushed back, left my bike there. And the next time, weeks later, when the square was opened up, there was a tank sitting right where my bike had been. So I stayed with the crowd for several hours. We were being pushed back. The crowd would they'd be pushed back, then they'd get very angry, and they started to go forward a little bit, and the kids would start throwing stones, and then the troops would open fire again, and then there'd be a lull, and then it would go forward. And I remember trying to always to stay back from the very front of the crowd, so that there'd be other people to absorb the bullets, but also then realizing at one point that I was a few inches taller than the average Chinese in front of me, so that a crucial part of me was actually exposed. And after that, I kept lower